Hiya, welcome back to the Thurso show. This is episode 15. This is the 29th of July, and we'll be putting this out on the 30th of July. Can't quite believe that we're at the end of July already, but there you go. So just a reminder, I am Marion. I am a Thurso Community Development Trust Board member. And tonight I'll chat with Joan Laurie, who is our Thurso Development Manager. We've got a couple of things to tell you guys this evening, so we'll just go ahead and go right in. So Joan, can you give us a quick update on the community support that we've been offering throughout the coronavirus pandemic?
Okay, so first of all, episode 15, how's that happened? How have we done 15 of these? Wow. So we're beginning to tail off a little bit. We still obviously have some people who are officially on shielding until the 31st. I think it's the 1st of August that shielding's due to go on pause. But also a lot of those people have been indoors for quite a long time now. So they're still quite anxious about going out and doing shopping and things like that. So we'll still be carrying on to support them until the end of September. So by taking little steps, because, you know, supermarkets are hard enough as it is at the moment. Face coverings, rules, lanes, which directions, all of those things. So imagine if you've been inside for the past 12, 16 weeks. It's even a big thing to just go out and take a walk, rather, let alone go to a supermarket. So we're still supporting folk that way. We reached this week, I think, over 5,000 meals that we've delivered. So the meals are carrying on and will be until the end of September, but we have dropped down a day. We're not doing meals now on a Wednesday, so it's just a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday that we do meals. So that's kind of ticking along, and beautiful meals that are coming out of the kitchen all the time, and sort of looking at ways that we might be able to continue that service. We don't know, because that's going to be funding dependent, but that's my job over the next few months. So yeah, that could be a potential, but by no means certain.
Awesome. So people can continue to get in touch with us should they need support. As Joan mentioned, we have been funded to offer this kind of support until the end of September. I think there was a few people a little anxious that things were just going to dry up and stop, but we're definitely here until the end of September. And let's be honest, we're not going anywhere. If people are really, really struggling, by hook or by crook, we'll find a way. So we're just kind of want to make that message clear that although things are winding up a wee bit and we want to encourage people to become more independent, that we're not going to leave anybody high and dry. So yeah, you're stuck with us.
Yeah. No, our real aim at the moment is just helping people to get that sort of independence back, and yeah, finding out sort of what longer term needs are and what we can do in the future. I think that hopefully, I think that we've demonstrated through what's happened that as a kind of little community organisation, we can be quite nimble and quite receptive to the needs of the community, and that's what we're here for. That's the whole point of a development trust. We identify the needs, we try and address the needs. So yeah, I mean, we'll carry on working on things that we can, and yeah, we're never going anywhere, but our capacity might reduce, might change. We don't know what's in the future. A lot of things always depend on that magic funding application.
They sure do.
Yeah.
So one of the projects that we actually started like 2 years ago.
The first project.
So yeah, we launched a project a couple of years ago, the community fridge, and we went along to Your Cash, Your Caithness. That was the very first Joan and Marion show. Marion made a hips of it, but that's another story. And we explained to those in attendance, and we explained on our social media at the time what the project was all about. Now, things got in the way and stumbling blocks arrived, the usual sorts of things, but here we are, 2 years later. We have coronavirus land on our doorstep, and we've had to adapt the project ever so slightly. And you might have seen on our social media this week that we have officially launched what is now called the Sharing Shed. So Joan, can you just kind of give us and the ins and outs as to what the sharing shed is and what we hope to achieve with it.
Okay, so at the moment, it's a shed in the archway of the youth club that's got lots of tinned foods in it, and it's got some toiletries in it, and please come and help yourselves. And it's open between about 9 and about 5, 6 o'clock, Monday to Friday. The rest of the time it's locked up. So that's what it is at the moment. That's not what it's going to be in the future. At the moment, we are getting, so we've been supporting lots of people with meals, and there's this brilliant organisation who actually operate out of Aberdeen called Seafine, and they started off, I'm not going to completely quote their history because I might get it wrong, but pretty much been a food bank, and they've kind of grown into this quite large organisation. And they are taking surplus food from the north and distributing it. So this food that we're getting is the same as you might have seen the PPP have set up a wee kind of community larger thing in their reception area. If any of you follow any other development trusts on social media, like I do, like all of them, then Kyla Sutherland Development Trust, they've got a community larger, and they get deliveries from Seafine as well. So it's basically quite a lot of surplus food that comes every fortnight to us. So we've been predominantly using it for people who've been getting meals from us and they want to get a bit more independence, but they're maybe struggling a little bit. And so we've been doing these kind of helping hand boxes, but just to give people back a bit of choice over what they're cooking and things like that. But there's plenty of it, so which is why, hence, come and help yourselves. And that's kind of the ethos of what we've always set out to do. So what we had always set out to do was to have a community fridge. We were going to have a fridge, a big commercial fridge in a little shed that pretty much matched the size of the fridge. And it was going to be for food that was otherwise going to waste. So for businesses, fresh food predominantly, or if you had, you know, if you bought a 6-pack of yogurts and you didn't like all of the yogurts, then you could go and stick some of them in and you can go and take some of them out. And it's open to everybody. It's about reducing the amount of food that goes to landfill, because food going to landfill produces all of these horrible gases and things like that, and it's really bad for the environment. Plus, it's just a waste. With so much food in the bin, it's an absolute and complete waste. So that's what we were going to do originally, and then it's all grown arms and legs. So now what we will have is we will have a really beautiful wooden shed, which is currently being built for us, and it'll be going in at the youth club, and we will have a fridge and a freezer in it, and we will have some shelving for the what's called non-ambient goods, so your tinned foods and things like that. But all of it will be food that is otherwise going to waste. So produce from our community garden and our community growing spaces. So the town square, we've also got growing spaces outside the youth club, and obviously the community garden. The veg and things like that will go in there for people to just come and help themselves to. Similarly for businesses in the town, if you've got, Gary Reid, if you've got an excess of pies that are going in the bin, stick them in the fridge, or our personal favourite, sausage rolls. So anything like that. So if it's going to go in the bin, put it in the fridge. Somebody can come and help themselves to it from the fridge. And you can share your food that you might have in excess in the fridge or in the freezer as well. The only thing that we would ask, so that all complies with food hygiene rules, is that it's not your leftover lasagna. It's not something that you've cooked in your house. It's something that you might have in your fridge that you've bought. So that's kind of where we are with it. Does that explain it all, Marion?
Yeah, I think so. So I think, as we've spoken before, like our Thurso Grows project is, amongst many other things, is about the reduction of food waste. So this project is almost like another arm of that. And the whole idea is, we've called it the sharing shed for a reason. If I have too much that I won't use, I'll put it in the shed and someone else is more than welcome to help themselves. I'm not sure if there has ever been a moment in Reid's history that they've had to put sausage rolls or pies in the bin. But Gary Reid, if you're watching this, you know where to put those excess items now.
we can always be hopeful. In the meantime, we will continue to purchase from Reed's and many of the other fine bakeries all around the town, Johnson's and Jameson's, and all of the other pie and sausage roll suppliers in Caithness. You're all wonderful and we love you all very much.
So as John's mentioned, there's almost 2 stages of the sharing shed, and at the moment, and right here, right now, the sharing shed is open Monday to Friday, until between 8 and 9 to between 5 and 6 in the day, and you're very welcome to go along and help yourself to anything that's there. Going forward in the next few months, we will receive delivery of our fridge and a freezer, and we'll get those things in place then. But for now, we do have a surplus food which we'll be going to waste, which is available to pick up here now. So please do pop along and see what you can find. I think Joan's hoping to maybe pop up some recipes and things as well, so that we can learn together how to use the items that are there to create meals to feed the whole family and things like that.
Yeah, I think well, there's tins of green lentils. So if anybody has any recipes for tins of green lentils, please put them down at the bottom there, because I will say in full admittance, I have never seen a tin of lentils before in my life. So yeah, recipes for green lentils, that would be lovely. I think just the way to think about the whole thing about the sharing shed is that if you think back to the time of our grannies and our granddads and things like that, or maybe some of you are a bit younger than me, so your great grandparents, you would have thought nothing about going next door and asking, you know, if you'd run out of milk, or asking for a fill up of a jug of milk or a bowl of sugar. Folk thought nothing of that, you know, back so many years ago. And that's not the sort of thing that we do now, not all of us anyway. So this is essentially just doing that, but on a community basis, really.
Awesome. So we'll keep you guys updated on our social media as to how things are progressing and when the fridge arrives and all these sorts of things. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities for silly photographs and videos to come. There's always an opportunity for stupidity when we're about. But the next thing on my list here is actually something we just found out today. So we have spontaneously decided to let you guys know about it. And we have been successful for another wee pot of funding that we applied for about a month, maybe 6 weeks ago. So Joan's worked really hard on the application, so I'll let her fill you all in on what it is and what we're going to be up to.
So as we're all now looking towards recovery, one of the funding pots that's been made available was via Scotland's Towns partnership, which is to assist with town centre recovery. So persuading us all down into the town centre, promoting our own local town centres, promoting a love local, shop local kind of theme. So we made an application for the maximum that we could for the population size of Thurso. It was kind of tiered, so some bigger towns were able to apply for more money. And we're absolutely delighted that we found out today that we're getting the maximum award that we can get of £10,000. So we'll be able to do lots and lots of promotion of the town centre. Including a business directory. We'll be looking at treasure hunts, we'll be looking at banners going up, we'll be looking at, we put into the funding application creative floor stickers to maintain social distancing. So we might get a bit funny with them, like please stand 2 sheep apart, something like that. Yeah, what else is in it? Kind of social media, lots and lots of social media posting, lots and lots of just really to support our town centre businesses and also our tourism businesses. You know, let's remember the funding's called town centre funding, and we talk about the town centre, but we actually do mean all of the retail businesses in Thurso. So we know that we've got retail businesses up in Ormley, we know that we've got retail businesses on the other side of the river. It's not just about that area of the precinct, it's about the entire town. And so it's also about promoting the tourism businesses. I think quite a few are going to be taking part in the, what's it called? Eat Out
to Help Out.
Yeah. So we'll be able to promote a lot of that kind of work and things like that as well. And just really, yeah, I mean, if you spend local, your local businesses survive, and that's what's important. So that's what it's for. So we only found out today. And full admittance, has been a bit of a shock, because we got an email a fortnight ago telling us that the fund had been massively oversubscribed to, at which point I went, yeah, we're going to have to think about plan B or plan C here. So yeah, we're a bit taken aback that we have got the funding, and very chuffed, so that we'll be able to do lots of Love Thurso, which we've been telling everybody for all through COVID. So yeah, expect lots of Love Thurso. And I have been asked quite a few times now about our I Heart Thurso badges and where people could get them from. So up until now, we'd only really given them out to really, really good volunteers, or we'd hidden them places, but you might see quite a lot more of those surfacing all over the place. But I think we might pay somebody to make them rather than me standing here with a badge
maker. So as well as those things that Jones mentioned, we'll also be supporting the guys, or we have been supporting them anyway, but we've been chatting with the guys who've been participating in the Caithness market, because we really want to support what they're doing, but we just didn't quite know how the trust fits into that. We don't so much trade ourselves, we don't have a shop or anything like that. As much as we like to try creative things, we're not the most artistic nor creative of people. So yeah, we wanted to know how best do we support, and how can we help shout from the rooftops about what they're doing. So this wee project will allow us to do that. Just gives us a little bit of financial backup, basically. And we wanted to give Caithness Market a special shout out this week as well, because Inspired by Caithness are hosting this month, which takes place on Saturday. So if you follow the hashtag Caithness Market on Instagram and on Facebook, you can see all of the goodies and everybody taking part. The way that they're doing it now is that there'll be a different host each month. So for August, Inspired by Caithness are hosting, and each host gets to choose who gets the charity donation. So each business donates £10 to take part. And we were really delighted to see that Inspired by Caithness has chosen us. So that's really special as well. And I guess it just shows the partnership working, because we'll receive a little bit of the fundraising from those guys, and in turn we can help promote everybody's business online and in our directory and all those sorts of things. So all kind of works hand in hand and should come together really nicely over the next couple of months.
So just to add as well, a couple of weeks ago we did, kind of in preparation for this funding, and then we heard it was oversubscribed, and so we didn't really do that much more about it. We did ask for people who are retail businesses in Thurso, if you can get in contact with your contact details, email address preferably. I'm quite open to coming and going around all the shops and speaking to everybody. However, I know that you've got only a minimal number of customers you can have in your shops at the moment. So it'd be really helpful if you could get in contact now with your contact details as we build that business directory, which is actually going to take the form of something like our community magazine, that we're hoping to have sort of features and things like that from retailers, rather than it just being a list of businesses. That's what we're hoping to do with it. So we make it a bit more entertaining and something that people will pick up from their doorstep, sort of thing. But it would be really beneficial if you could get in contact with us now, please.
And those will be available free of charge, as well as it's like the special edition of the community magazine. So excuse me. So
it will be popping through everybody's letterbox again. Yeah. Yeah. But we might get the postie to deliver it this time.
Brilliant.
Especially the one on the Saturday that's always dressed up as Captain Jack Sparrow, because that's amazing.
That is, I'm at the end of my list. Joan, have you got anything left on your list?
No, I don't think I have anything else on my list, apart from we would like to give a shout out to a very special fan that we've had for the Thurso show, who has just been really kind to me and Marion this week. And we're a big fan of her as well. So can we just say a big thank you to Granny Spence, please?
Thanks, Granny! Oh, She'll be
We're going to
delighted.
assume that you are watching, so thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think that's us for this evening. We'll be back in a fortnight, which will be, crikey now.
Middle August. How's that happen?
Mid-August. Well, obviously, we're all going to be watching tomorrow to see what Nicola tells us about the remainder of phase 3. We might get some more dates for reopening of certain businesses. We might not. Who knows? But I guess, as always, keep yourselves safe. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. I don't know about anyone else. I don't know about you, Joan, but I've found phase 3 to be probably the hardest phase. I feel almost more restricted now. I don't know why. I think it's just the weird mixed up world that we're in. So if anyone else
Yeah,
is feeling a bit weird, you're about as normal as I am. Put it that
yeah.
way.
I think it's kind of that feeling that this is a normal that's here to stay for a while. And yeah, yeah, I think there's a bit of that going on. So,
Yeah.
but hey ho, it is a new normal and we can only keep going.
Exactly. So we will see you guys in a fortnight. See you later.